California next weekend.
Next weekend? Okay. And you mean LA?
Yes.
All right. So let me know.
I don't know where I'm staying though.
So let me know when what day you're coming and all that kind of stuff, and we'll meet up and
we can do the podcast.
Yes.
Oh, and that'll be on a Thursday?
Yeah, I'll be there until next.
Well, that'll be my birthday, the 8th, April 8th. When we record, that's a Thursday. It'll be my birthday.
All right.
Nice.
Listen, I don't know what y'all will expect, but I'll be there. Anyway.
Oh, don't have any edibles, ma'am. No edibles.
It's my birthday. You know, I'm usually either out of the country or out of the state of Massachusetts. So you know I'm going to be tore up from the floor, sitting here by my lonesome, especially with y'all two in LA. Anyway, welcome to another episode of Still Dope, Chopping It Up with Chris. You know what day it is. It is Thursday. It is the day after Married at First Sight. And here we are. Let's get to it. Who wants to go first?
Who are we starting with first?
Oh,
well, this was not a very exciting episode.
It was not.
The month anniversary. It was the month anniversary episode.
Let's start off with Chris and Paige.
Okay.
I mean, first of all, where to start? I was happy for her. I was happy for her when she stood up, when she was like, okay, finally I'm done. Mm-hmm. But what did it have to take for her to be, because she's like, I'm hoping that we can, I was like, Paige.
She really did not step up and say she was done. He did it.
Right.
For her.
It took him to break it off with her. And I just wanted, my thing with that whole scene, he was all in it. Remember? I mean, even the producers asked him, he was just like, I'm becoming more attractive to her and, more attracted to her. And, she has a nice body. He made it sound like he was in it. And I think once he realized that he had her again, it's like last week when he told her about the car, she was happy. And then he brought that up and she was happy. And then he brings this up about, I don't think it's working for us. We've hit a dead end. And when she went off crying, I think that was what he had been aiming for weeks, to get her emotionally broken. And I don't think I've ever hated or disliked a person on TV other than J.R. Ewing as much as I did him. He was absolutely diabolical.
We're not communicating. There's no communication. I'm like, motherfucker, really?
He totally
wow.
He flipped it on her.
He did. That's exactly what he did. He flipped it on her after he got her comfortable in the relationship again. In that fucking suit. I'm
not a fan. I'm not a fan of the too tight suits anymore. I just think it's just, I'm going to chalk it up to being 53. And it's like, I'm not a fan of suits. I guess they're in their early 20s and 30s. It looks good on them, but
it's not even that. He showed up.
Paige was rocking that, showing her little tummy. I was like, oh, okay, Paige. Got some confidence in your ass playing pool with crop top on. I was like, oh, okay, shit. Go for it.
I chalked that up to Chris and Tanya. I felt like she was trying the last few episodes, she's been trying to show more of her body. He's never going to want you. It doesn't matter what you do, what you say, how you behave, how close to God you try to be. He does not want you. And all he wants to do is do exactly what he did last night. She was walking off crying and he was just like, I'm so sorry we couldn't make it.
Yeah. Right, back on the phone. He flipped the script on her and she couldn't handle it. And I think the car was the last straw for her. When he told her last week, I don't think she was happy.
That was the last.
I don't think she was happy about that car, Shahida.
I think
she wasn't happy, but she wasn't done. Right.
It wasn't the last straw because, again, she didn't end it. He did.
Right. Well, it had to come to that because I don't think she would have ever ended it. Hence why she was crying.
Mm-hmm.
She came into it with the intention of being with this man, regardless of how he treated her. Period.
Right.
Under God, the
Right.
vow, the covenant, all that stuff was under, and even when she found out about the second fiance, and she found out, what more? And he's awful. He's
awful.
And he was acting, he was acting the way that he was acting because he's just a dick, number one. But he was also doing it because he could.
Let's play basketball.
Yeah,
dude,
let's have Bible. Let's have Bible study.
You want to play one-on-one?
And what's with this? Every time he sees her, that's your wife. Hey yo, what's up, yo? Hey yo, I brought some food, yo. I'm gonna beat you in this basketball game, yo. I'm like, shut up.
Yeah, it was absolutely it was horrible to see, and I was disappointed that she wasn't able to walk away before he called it quits.
Yeah, she walked away with the shame. Like I was watching it this morning. I had like a Game of Thrones moment. Remember when Cersei did that walk of shame, and they would like shame, confess. She started walking away with the tears, and I was just like, honey, I wish I could feel bad for you.
Yeah,
shame on you. Shame on you. You let it get this far that now you're walking out with your tail between your legs. You should have went ham on him 4 weeks ago.
Just let him go. And I just don't think that your God wants that kind of hell rain on you.
Well, God puts that situation in there, that shows her that. I was like, come on, baby, just stop.
Just stop.
Let it go.
Just stop.
Okay, so question. You think it's done?
I know.
Because they're a ratings getter. I think
Chris did not watch the previews.
I don't watch the previews.
You did? Yeah, so
I didn't.
I did what you did and didn't watch the previews. So if you have the hint, Tanya.
No, I purposely didn't watch it because I kept saying that when it was ending, I said to myself, how's this going to play out? Because one side of my brain is like, for Lifetime, this is a ratings juggernaut. People are tuning in to see this shit show of Chris and Paige. So they got to figure out a way to we got 4 more weeks left. And it's like, we got to figure out a way. There's 4 more weeks left after this month anniversary. Yeah, they've got 4 more weeks. It's an 8-week process.
Oh,
yeah.
Damn.
So they've got 4 more weeks.
Because I'm really getting tired of these motherfuckers.
That's why I just want to start with it and get it over with. Because
that's why I'm saying. That's why I'm saying I think they're going to have to keep Paige and Chris around just for.
That's not enough for me. They're not enough for me.
It's the same thing.
Yeah, I'm like, they need to start wrapping this up. I can't do 4 more weeks. That's bullshit.
Yeah, it's going to be 4 more weeks, but I'm invested in it now. So even if Chris and Paige never show up on the screen again, I'm still going to watch it because I just have to see how this plays out.
I do want to see how it plays out. I'm going to, but 4 more weeks. They need to. Okay, let's move on to the next couple then. Okay, well, let's
30%.
Percentages. Let's go to percentages.
We'll do our percent for Chris and Paige.
What?
30.
15 to 20, God, I'm telling you, 30.
I'm with you on that one. I'm going to go 32. I'm going to go 32 because I just don't think they're done.
The only reason I said is at least a 10% is because he does this. This is what he does, and this is what she does. So there is still something. Because any other normal person would have been out weeks ago if it was paid. Done. After you got, I'm sorry. Did you have a baby on the way?
Gone.
I'm good.
Especially on national television, the humiliation of it all, and you're also dealing with people that aren't used to being on TV. So it's like, for me, that would be the most humiliating thing. And I'd be like, I'm out of here. Take this microphone off me. Get the cameras off me. I'm never coming back. Leave me alone.
Let me ask you guys a question.
A black couple. I just wish it wasn't a black couple.
Let me ask you a question. Let me ask both of you a question. Now, remember when Chris was saying that he had called her 6 or 7 times and she didn't answer the phone. And that, wait. And also that she didn't seem to be interested unless the cameras were running, like hanging out outside of the camera. I'm like, what if it's Paige that's more calculating than him?
Could be.
Because I find it strange that if he called her 6 or 7 times, she not picking up the phone but not calling him back. Why wouldn't you call him back when you said?
I don't believe anything he says, honestly.
But she didn't.
It's all bullshit. And he says, "I'm not a text person. I'm not a text person."
Right, I get that. But remember, she didn't say, "Well, I called you back," or "You didn't call me that many times." She didn't say that. She just said, "I was busy."
What I took from it was they were doing the classic tit for tat bullshit. That's where my brain went, why she wasn't answering him, because like the last few episodes when they were talking about it with the professionals, she was complaining about that, that, she never hears from him. If she texts him or calls him, he doesn't answer, he doesn't respond, he doesn't call her back or what have you. And I think it was Viviana that they were talking to. And Viviana was like, well, what is your expectation? She's like, well, like a daily, like a text once a day or whatever. And he got upset about that. And she's like, that ain't too much. That's not much. Like, she's not asking for much. She's just asking for,
he also said that he didn't like texting. He liked to call. So my thing is, I get that it could be a tit for tat, but you said you wanted contact every day. And if he said he did that, then why didn't you respond or at least call him back?
Yeah, I see, but I don't know
that.
Anything he says.
Yeah,
she didn't rebut anything that he said at that moment.
That is true. She didn't say you're lying.
I know me. I'm bad in an argument. You could say shit, and I'd be like, "Well, damn," and then like 2 hours later, I'd be like, "Well, this and shit happened." No, it's too late. So it could have been that way with her, but I think she would have been like, "Well," because she would have said more than, "When you called, I was busy."
But she did say she was with her mom.
Right.
And she did text.
Yeah.
Right. But he's not a texter. Why did she go on that?
But he just said he wasn't a texter. You know what I mean?
But my thing is, I'm sorry, my computer was. My thing is that maybe she's playing games too.
Could be.
Probably, but you know what?
I hope so.
At this stage of the game, I was gonna say, at this stage of the game, who cares? Because what he's done to her.
Please. I agree. No, I agree. But I thought that all this, I really want things to work. And she might just be saying that for the cameras. Maybe she doesn't, which is fine. I would totally agree. But you still made yourself look like a chump because you let him end it instead of you ending it.
Basically, she could have had her moment. She could have had her moment.
She could have been like, she could have said to his face, "Yeah, you're calling me 6 and 7 times, but at that moment, I didn't want to fucking deal with you." And he would have broke up with her anyway, but anyway, so it's like I said, 20% because of the religion. That's it.
Okay.
But that's only her religion because he doesn't believe half of that shit.
But he believes it. He doesn't subscribe to it.
Thank you. Yeah. He talks a good game. He's a classic bullshitter.
He can't even pray. Like, she's the one leading prayer. He doesn't even lead prayer. How do you be a Christian male and not lead prayer?
Right. He's the one that suggested it. And then when he shows up, he's like, well, what if, she's like, what have you got? Well, nothing. What do you got? Because and then here we go. She's leading him.
It's faith. He only wanted to be a pastor because he knew it made money. And then when it didn't make money, he went on to the other scam. So I'm
wondering if he is as successful as he
isn't. I told you, none of those businesses survived. That Subway lasted 1 month.
So it was a Subway. I missed that one because he was saying he was a restaurateur. No, and I'm saying when I hear restaurateur, that's a whole difference than a franchisee.
No, ma'am.
I could own a string of McDonald's, but that don't mean I'm a restaurant.
1 month. He didn't make it out of 1 month.
Well, how the hell he buy that Benz though?
Who knows? New Benz. I mean, he might just have just decent credit enough to buy it. And true. Who's to say he really bought that woman a Benz?
True.
Or he
I don't think a word he says.
I don't either. I don't, because I know he's lying about his business. I know he's lying about having money. I know he's lying about being a financial advisor. There's just no way he's lying.
Oh, child. Okay.
All right.
Who you got up next?
All right. How about we transition over to, let's just get these two out of the way.
Steak and eggs?
Steak and eggs. Haley and Jacob.
I have things to say.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Okay. So Haley said something about she's able to connect to people on a romantic level, but just can't connect to him. Remember when she said that? And, they're at the table.
Yeah.
And I don't think she means to do it, but those are things that just keep digging and digging in him, that you are not attracted to me.
She just doesn't like him.
So you're
period, end of story.
I never have this problem with other people. It's just you. How is that supposed to make that man feel?
That's what he said. And the reason when he threw it in her face, he's like, you'll hug a complete stranger.
Oh,
but you give that sigh of disgust when I come in for the hug for you. The fact he has now turned into Paige for me, because I'm looking at him like, dude, why are you still here? She clearly
he
does not like you.
I think he finally at least said it to her. What's the point of this whole? He said, "What's the point of this whole thing? Why are we still here? We'll just wait it out until we get divorced."
Right. Let's wait it out. Let's ride this wave.
But I don't like her. I don't think she tried at all. No. And with the card, the tarot card thing, I guess that's a lifetime thing that they had, coming in, and it was in the other, and he's like, oh, okay. I just feel bad for him. I feel bad for him.
I feel bad for him too.
Because I genuinely think he tried, and he was like, oh, she's an attractive woman. She seems nice. We could probably, let's see if we can make a friendship. Let's see if we can make this work. She's just like, I just don't like how you look, and I don't like how you act, and I don't like who you are. So there's nothing to glam. If he was a good looking guy and you're like personality, she was not attracted to that. If you like great personality but wasn't attracted physically, they can grow that into Jamie, whatever, Doug. They can grow that into. She don't like anything about him. Anything. I
mean, even when she bought him the shirts, like, I gave her credit for that, to go out and like get him some stuff, whatever. But when he was like, he played along with her and was like, tried it on and stuff, which I thought was cute. And she was just sitting there like a bump on a log. And I'm like, bitch, show some enthusiasm. You just went out and bought this man some shirts to change his whole lifestyle because you don't like his little 80s look. So I don't like her.
Like with the 80s thing, I don't really get. Maybe I missed something, because I'm stuck in the 80s too. I'm stuck in the 90s too. What is it? I mean, is it his dress so much that she doesn't like? Because his dress is just dull.
Well, she said she didn't like his 80s. He was stuck in the 80s and then his house was just kind of weird because he just had too much stuff.
Anything.
But there's nothing. Listen, he could remodel his house and make it into the most modern shit in all of Atlanta and go out and get the finest of outfits, and she's still gonna have that sourpuss and not like him. I think she's just with him because she just doesn't want to look like a failure. I think she's gonna try to do
she started crying?
The bare minimum.
Oh
yeah. I was like, why are you crying?
Why are you crying? But also too, what was really bad, when they came to the dinner table, he was fine. But when he really flipped the script, is when he looked at that video of their wedding and he realized she pulled away from me then. She wasn't interested in me then, and he it turned the whole evening over. So he realized at that moment she has never wanted me.
And she said, well, when I first came up, I was like, oh, okay, well, doomed from the beginning.
And I just can't not feel for him. I'm not like a huge fan of his.
No, right.
I think his sense of humor is very awkward. You need to be able to read people, read the room. And I can't think he has that. You can't do that. But as far as him feeling like rejected on looks, that's a hard sell. And I totally get him on that one. And I just don't think that I think she should have just ended it.
If she had just stepped up and been like, hey, look, we're married. We did this together. You know, she said, I don't want to hurt his feelings. What do you think you've been doing this whole time? You're hurting his feelings the whole time, trying not to hurt his feelings, but just be like, hey, you know, I don't know. I wish I was attracted to you. You're a good looking guy. It's just not my thing. You know, let's just try to be civil or be friends or something before we. But she's so cut off and then she started. Remember, she was crying. She was like getting emotional on the stand. I'm like,
stop!
Don't do that. Don't do that.
That would be. I was like,
don't do that. Stop that. Because I think she feels like she's a victim. I think she feels like a victim.
She does.
I think she feels she's mad that she got set up with the dude, and she's like, this whole process, I got set up with this guy.
I got the short end of the stick.
I think she feels she has to make a moat just to save face, so to speak.
Yeah.
Because I mean, there's some Haley fans because he's kind of off and whatever, but I don't think she tried. She didn't try at all.
Did not
sleeping in the bed, and she's like, I don't want to be near. I don't want to. You can see it. You can feel. I can feel it.
I can feel it
through the TV. Of like, she want to sit next to him.
She doesn't want to. He got in the bed, and she was just like laying there, and I was like, yeah, I would have just got to go right back to that guest room because that was terrible.
I can't blame her for that 100%. Only because if you're just not attracted to somebody, the thought of them touching you is just like, no, I can't do it. But the thing is, be mature about it and just say it's just not going to happen for me. And she should have cut it off a long time ago.
Right. And he wasn't going to touch her anyway because he knows that she's going to bristle.
Yeah.
And that's why he said, can I even hug or whatever? He's like, I think you're making a big thing out of small things like a hug. You hug a stranger. I'm like, you got a point, brother.
And that was worse because when she came back, well, of course, but I never have to see them again. Bitch.
And that's why he said, finally, well, you won't have to see me at all anymore after this.
Tried to act like she was hurt. Why? Did you just hear the words that came out of your mouth about then I never have to see them again? Those were hurtful things.
Bitches.
I give them
like a 15.
They're done. I just think they're done. I don't care what happens in the next week.
I give him 20%. Just because if she had said, you know what, let's try, I like you or whatever, he'd be like, that's what I've always wanted. She's done. She's zero.
Yeah.
No, so
I give them 10%. Do that, Chris. But I also feel like in the back of his head, he's never going to get over it.
Oh yeah. No,
I don't think he'll ever get over it. It's like women, like when my husband cheated on me, I got over it for 10 minutes, but it stayed in the back of my head. So it never would work because I'm always going to be thinking about that and thinking about, well, I wasn't fucking good enough. You went to this person. He's going to be thinking I wasn't good enough. You think I'm ugly. He's never going to get over it.
At all. At all.
all
So
right. So I agree with you with that. I think she's done. But I give him like 15%.
Okay. 15?
Yeah.
Him 15 or her 15?
him. I think I'm with you. I think she's just checked out. She's done.
I think he's checked out too, though. I'm gonna give him.
There is no way she's gonna say yes. If he says let's stay together, there is no. That's a zero.
But you actually think there's a way he will?
If he's gonna say no just to save face, But if she said in the thing and she went first and said, you know what, I've thought about it a lot. You know, we've grown over. I'm not saying she's gonna. I'd like to stay together and maybe we can off camp or whatever. I think he would. I think he would say yes. I think he would say yes. I think if she said yes, he would say yes.
Yeah, I think so. I think if she did a 360 and had that conversation with him and wanted to, I think he would say,
maybe 180.
180, yeah, maybe 180, 360 around. Yeah.
Well, I'm the one that was been drinking earlier, but
if she said yes, he would say yes.
I think honestly, I think he has too much self-respect to say yes.
Oh. She's not gonna say yes anyway, so that's just the.
No, I'm talking about him. I think he has too much self-respect.
Or he could end up being like old dude from last season that had that psycho wife. Remember the one? He was like the really introverted guy and never traveled out of the country.
Remember?
And then she and she was the flight attendant, and
she didn't have Tourette's.
She didn't have no place.
He had Tourette's because he would twitch every now and then.
He ticked a lot. He did a lot of ticking and clicks. He wasn't like Tourette's and
no, he wasn't like.
I thought he had like Asperger's.
I think he does have a little touch of Asperger's too, but I did notice the ticking
because he was funny.
I did like
Henry.
He was a nice guy,
but Henry blew up that picture.
Henry was on the slide. Henry was weird because all those three women. Remember his three girlfriends were all up in Henry.
Yes.
Like the three girlfriends who were at the wedding, and they're all like,
I thought that little dark-haired one was kind of like
really liked him,
and
Henry was kind of like macking a little bit of like kind of like
whatever. He has
whatever.
A cool sense of humor. It's like really kind of like laid back and smooth because he's not like laughy. You know what I mean? I liked Henry.
Got that laugh it, have it.
And that girl was a hot mess.
She was
and a liar.
She was a complete pathological lying psychotic bitch.
What was up with the eyes? What was up with
she had those. Remember, she had those like the bug eyes kind of.
Oh yeah, she had like she had a thyroid problem.
Yeah,
she always looked like she had a thyroid problem.
Okay, you're the nurse. Okay,
I was gonna say that's my. Sorry.
So
anyway,
who you got next? Who do you want to go?
Back to this.
Who you want to go to next?
All right, let's go.
Rihanna and Vincent.
Yeah, might as well get them out the way because now they're just again so in love.
Can I say something about Brianna though? I wasn't feeling her this week.
Why?
Well, because of the baby talk.
No. Did you get my email about Tanya and the baby talk? Did you get my email?
What did you say? What did you
about
say?
Tanya talking about the baby talk. I'll have to send it to you again. But no.
And then at the end of it, I was total in baby talk mode.
That wasn't what got me. It's that she's not articulate. Vincent is out there spewing poetry about his love for her. She is not on the same level. I think that I still love her and love them together, but she can't express. She's not as expressive as he is. Whereas he talks about her and her family and, you know, what he wants to bring to her. She talks about what he brings to her.
Like, but see, that's the Dominican in him. Girl, you know we're from New England, honey, and you know up here it ain't nothing but Puerto Ricans and Dominicans, and them men are passionate. If they love you, they are passionate about it.
And she doesn't match that. Like when they were on the boat, and he asked her about like, do you feel married? Her answer was like, I was like, that's a shitty fucking answer.
That was kind of messy. Yeah.
Okay, so I'm not alone on that one. It was a shitty fucking answer. That's not what he was looking for. He wanted to know that you felt loved and appreciated in this marriage. He wanted her to express that. She does, and she fails on a lot of those counts when he asks her certain questions about their relationship. It's like she's unable to put it out there to him. Whereas
that was a bad response. He's like, "Do you feel married?" And she was like, I was like,
when other people say they're married, it's like
right, it feels like an obligation,
like feeling trapped and bitch. That's not what I asked you. I asked
right.
you how you feel. What do you feel?
Right.
So I felt it, but I did fall in love with him when he basically. I mean, I agree with you on that one, Shahida, where he broke it down.
He did
on that boat.
It was
like, I want to work
beautiful.
hard because I don't want you to have to, we're not going to struggle. You're going to have a beautiful home. Our kids are going to have their own rooms. Again, that's that mentality that, you can already know where his background, where he came from, because he's thinking of things like, I want our children to have their own rooms. We have our big house and not have to struggle in that. I loved everything he said about that. That was wonderful.
He's very romantic. But it's not just words, it's actions. So
he bought her a bicycle. I shed a tear. I got a little moist when he bought her the bike.
First of all, stop fucking lying, because when he bought her the bicycle, you didn't think it was a big deal. You didn't think of that until later. Look at her face.
Because I want a bike. I was a hater because I want a bicycle. And I'm going to have to go buy my own damn bike. But that's all right. I'm just a hater.
But they're all...
There's still goals. 90. I'm like 98% for them.
Yeah, unless something tragic, unless something tragic happens, they're good.
They're both gonna say it's 100%. I mean, yeah, it's 90.
Yeah, I'll give them like a 99.
95. They're like 95, 98%. There's nothing that can, unless she does some bossy thing, but they're still gonna say yes to each other. There's no
but it's gonna happen because that's just how she is. It's inevitable that she's gonna say something like condescending or judgy to him that it's gonna send him. But now they've had the
when they were watching the wedding, when they were watching it, and she's like, and bossy, and she's a sweet one, but bossy. And I was like, their friends know. Her friends know
from the very beginning. That's how she knows, and that's what she needed. She knows she needed to work on. It's fine that you're bossy, but you have to modify that. You have to bring that down a level, especially dealing with any man, but especially a Dominican man.
Ciao. All right. So
let's go on.
So who do we want to do? We want to do Chin and the Elf, or do we want to go?
Let's save them for last.
Let's save the Chin for last.
All right, so the drunk
Stretch Armstrong
and what's her name?
What's her name? Stretch Armstrong and the drunk.
Virginia.
And
is it me or he's like, what is he, like 38 years old? But 34. He has not. He 34? There's nothing to him.
Yeah, he's 34. She's 26.
Like, he looks like a prepubescent teen. He looks like he's 13. From the neck down,
54. He looks.
But I'm looking at him from the neck down. He looks like a teenager. Oh, okay. He has no muscles in his arms, no definition, no bulk, no gooch, no nothing.
I have not even noticed his body. I haven't.
I noticed that.
I don't know how you could not.
I mean, you can't believe you didn't notice
Maybe because I don't like them. I don't like him or her.
Well, she just always looks dirty. I mean, why is that? She always looks like she needs a bath. She looks like her hair hasn't been washed in like 3 months. She just looks like she stinks all the time. But that's just me. But they had their little anniversary thing.
His arms are like that.
Yeah, my cousins had one of those. Yes. I remember with Stretch Armstrong.
Yes.
That's skinny.
I haven't paid him any attention.
We had a Stretch Armstrong growing up. I used to love him.
I haven't paid him any attention. But I
that whole
say, her.
Go ahead.
Does anybody feel that she is extremely? How old is she?
26.
Extremely desperate for her age, desperate and insecure. No one.
But she also has issues. She's got the classic daddy, mommy, divorce, all that bitterness. Yeah,
she's very needy of desperation to me.
Yes.
And I see her talk about like stuff like, I'm so fun, but I already told you. And I'm like, if you're so fun, just fucking relax and be fun. Every time she feels like she needs to say it. This is what I think. I think she mentioned this because she always tries to sound like she's like a little tough and like, hard-hearted. She has.
She does that a lot.
She does. And I hate it. she's had a lot of relationships for 26 where men did not love or appreciate her, but she's still only 26, right?
I was going to say she's 26.
Right, but I think it has made an impact on her. I believe that her friends that she says that she's very good friends with, I believe that she's the woman that went into relationships and had sex with these people thinking that sex would make them love her. I believe she had sex with one of those guys, or maybe
I don't doubt all of them.
Oh, yeah.
And, right.
Or maybe all at the same time.
I was going to say all of them. Yes, or all at the same time.
I didn't say that, sir.
If they're getting the amount that she drinks.
Right. But they all rejected her in that form. Like, oh, you're cool to sleep with, but no, this is my girlfriend. Right. And I think she has a lot, like when she was saying to the camera, this is the only man that's ever said, I love you as much as he has.
Right.
That's sad. I mean, granted, you're only 26 and you probably shouldn't have had that many relationships by then, but she's actually more broken than anything. And I could see him wrecking her.
Well, first of all, he's very condescending to her. He talks down to her all the time. Not understandably so, but because she's so young and she acts like a child, really, and has never done anything before. And she's just like, and he's like, well, when you live together with someone, you also have to compromise. Yeah, but whatever. He's like, well, I've been through this before. So, I'm telling you what you need to do.
I don't like it when you say that, which is like,
he talks down to her a lot.
I would agree with her. Stop saying that.
Right. And do you think that's the reason why she's so adamant of not moving in with him to his home? Like, she's so adamant to get in their own place.
But she's not even.
She won't move into his house.
He makes sense going, look, we can get a new place. I own my place. You rent. Move into my house for the time being and to see how it works. And then we can move on to get something else. Maybe you're not going to like, but we got to do something. He's like, well, let's both have our place. I'm like, he's like, yeah, but I own my place. I'm an adult. He's like, right. Don't.
Right.
So for her to be like, no, I'm not comfortable living there. I'm like, well, what did you plan on doing in the first place? Did you have a better solution?
Well, because she kept talking about all the animals. And I'm saying to myself, you're the one with all the animals. He has one dog. And she's got what, 2 dogs and like 2
No, she had 3.
Did
she say she had 3?
How many dogs? Yeah. 3 dogs?
Oh no, she got a lot of dogs.
She's got like a couple of cats.
3.
I think she has, I don't know, whatever. Well, so she's got a total of like 5 animals. But she's got those 5 animals in an apartment that isn't that big. So she's complaining, what are we going to do? What are we going to do in your house with all of these animals? All you're doing is adding on one. And he's got, I'm pretty sure he's got way more square footage than you do.
It's a condo. Is it a condo or a house?
It's a condo.
It's a condo.
It's a condo.
He's condo with the fireplace and all that kind of stuff. And that's a single man's condo too. So
it is. It definitely
I could see.
As soon as I saw that black lacquer furniture, I was like, oh yeah, total.
He said, well, I know where I'm living.
In 2021.
Yeah,
that was me and Michael's first bedroom set, Donna. I mean, Tanya.
I had black lacquer too.
That was 1988.
Yeah.
I think every black man between the years of 95 and probably 2002 that lived alone had that black lacquer set. And that big futon. What was that? What was that big round? What did you call that shit? It was in Pier 1.
Oh,
that big round chair.
The Papazon chair.
The Papazon chair.
And we had that too.
But he said, I know where I'm living. He said, I know where I'm living. I know where I'm going back to.
He basically hit her with grown man shit.
100% what she's saying about, it's not like just her. She's bringing all these other these animals. And her thing is, I don't want to feel uncomfortable if my dog does something or if and I get that, but it's not a mature way to go into it. You're just going to have to bite the bullet until he sells his place.
But he's a dog owner too. So he would understand if one of her dogs bit something.
Emotional baggage that she has to bring in as well.
Yeah.
But there's no place for that emotional baggage too.
Listen, that's not gonna last. they may last until they may stay together at the end of this. That's a marriage that isn't going to last. She does not have the wherewithal to be a pilot's wife. She was already pissing and moaning. They were married for a little over 2 weeks, 3 weeks, and he had to go on a work trip, and he was gone for a whole 2 damn days. And she was.
Does he work for a commercial airline?
Yes, he's a military. He's in the military. I think he must be in the reserves, and he's a airline, like a commercial airline pilot.
Okay.
Because he flies in the military too.
Logistics to work out and maturity on her part, and him trying to. But they dig each other. They still kind of like.
Yeah.
But you know what? I mean, I was thinking about what you guys were saying about them digging each other. I wonder how much she really does, though, because I feel with her, she needs so much. Like when real life gets to come into play, I don't think she'll be able to handle it because she's already emotionally damaged. So I feel like her whole thing is, this person loves me. He says it all the time. This is what I need. And then I'm going to love him because he loves me more than I love him. I don't know if she really loves him.
I think she loves. I think she loves the idea of how he's sweet to her and all that kind of stuff.
Exactly. That's exactly.
And I think I think she likes an asshole. I think she likes those dudes who are not going to treat her like, I love you. Let's do this, and a mature dude. You know what I mean? She's used to 28-year-old, 26-year-old dudes who are like, oh, no.
Yeah,
now he's like
you're showing up with a bottle at the Patron. Yeah,
I
don't have high hopes for them. I think last week I said 40% for them. I'm basically still 40%. But I don't like. You know what?
I think they're going to say yes at the end. I think they're both.
I think they're going to both say yes at the end. So I'll give them like 65, 70 or whatever.
You're right.
They'll say yes at the end, but that marriage isn't going to last 6 months after.
2 different percentages. We should try are they going to make it to the end? The 60. Are they going to say yes at the end percentage? And is the marriage going to? Now we're at the last 4 weeks. The percentage of them saying yes at the end of this is going to be 60 to 70. Them staying together,
I give them at least
30. 25.
Yep.
25. 30. For Peyton Chris, saying yes at the end is 15, 20, and lasting is 0. There's no way that's going to last.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Peyton Chris. I was just recapping. Peyton Chris. And
steak and eggs aren't even. I don't even think steak and eggs. Oh, you know,
they're not gonna get.
Then again, I don't know. They may get. I'm gonna give them about a 20% making it to the end, unless it just continues on like this, and he's just like he flips and he's like, I've had it. I think he might do a Henry. I think he might do a Henry. I think he might stay. She might pull that card on him and have these discussions, and he might stay and then say nothing. And then get to the couch at the end and be like, yeah, nah, I'm out.
I think they're both. I think they're both out.
Yeah, they need to both be out at this point.
Yeah, it's.
I know she is 100%.
She's definitely out.
I feel like. Yeah, I feel he's out too. I feel like he's out too.
Finally, he's given up. Like he does. I don't think he knows what else to do. He's tried to be nice.
You say finally, like I feel like for the last few weeks, he has known and he has expressed that she's not giving me anything. I can't reach her at any point. So I feel like it's not finally for him. I think he has said it all along. She's the one that
he was still trying though. That's the thing. He's been trying stuff. I think he's done trying. I think the last couple of weeks he knew it was doomed, but he kept trying to maybe do something. Now I think he's like, when he said, we'll just stay civil until we get divorced. I think he's done trying. Because
he's in an impossible position. Because again, we're in 2021. He's on TV. He doesn't want to come across as. I mean, he kind of is kind of creepy-ish, I should say. But he doesn't want to come off as that dude. Like, I'm not touching her. Like, I'm not ever putting myself in a position where I'm gonna.
And he's been very clear,
right? Like, try to hug her or give her, be affectionate with her, even touch her in the bed without this bitch possibly screaming rape. Because it's come to that point.
And it's come to the point of
ding.
The
elf and the chin.
Your segue.
The elf and the chin. I can't get that chin out of my face.
Done. She's done.
I don't think so. I don't think so.
When I say she's done, she's so frustrated right now because he won't fuck her. And he's so kind of like, yo, yeah. I feel like he's like almost like a zombie. Because
but you know what?
Like he's kind of there's no passion, there's no like, oh, yeah, I've never heard him say I love anything. Anything. I love working out. I love reading books. He does everything is like, well, we're it's closer. And of course, they said, do you think you could have potential for love? And he goes, yeah, well, I think it's on the right track. She don't need that. She needs come over here. Come over here. She's like, what?
Get your ass over here.
That's exactly what she's like. She'll go.
That's right. She'll be like, yes, daddy.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. If he was but he's so ambivalent, so kind of like.
But I kind of think he loves her because, and the only reason why I'm going to say this is because when they wait.
Okay.
I watch people's actions, like their body language, and the way he looked at her. Like there was a minute where I thought he was going to tell her he loved her.
Really?
Now it might have been forced. He might have been just saying it to her just to make her feel good. When they were eating the dinner and then they were watching the wedding, they were watching their wedding and then they were reading each other their vows. And she was really emotional about that. Mm-hmm. And he was looking at her like she was watching the wedding. And she was getting emotional and wiping her tears away. And he was like looking at her. And I'm looking at his eyes. And you can tell it affected him the way how she was reacting.
That's not love, though. He doesn't know what to do. He has no idea how to deal with a woman's emotions. He does not have any idea how to deal with a woman. He has no connection to a female energy at all or knowing. She's upset. That whole episode, she was upset. You haven't fucked me. You're not going to say I love you. I'm horny.
He says a lot of words that don't mean anything.
You don't say she's upset because she's like, I keep saying, please put your penis inside me, please. And he's like, hopefully if it.
I mean, she's not making any bones about it. She's just throwing it out there. Even when they went out to lunch with
but it's gone over the edge now. She's over the crest of like, you know what? I don't even know if I want it anymore. I don't even know if I want it, even though she wants it. I think she's like,
wants it.
But she's like, what is it going to take? What more do you need? What more do you need?
The whole episode, she kept saying that she was happy, that they were happy together. But I don't know.
And why is she already moving things into his home now? Like if you don't know, don't do that.
Was awkward after awkwardness after it was just awkward the entire time. So I don't know if that's editing or if because her saying, "Oh, we're happy," but you can't even speak. You don't even look comfortable. Even the wedding, that when they were looking at the wedding and you saw something and he saw something different, I saw a person who's just disconnected. It's almost like he has autism or something. Right. He's very disconnected from her emotions. He's very disconnected in conversations. He speaks a good game, but I don't think he means anything. There's no warmth or anything coming from him. It's just words. Right. Words.
Yeah. I'd like to see how his parents were. I thought that it would be a little bit different because I only saw the parents when they had that brunch and his parents seemed, together and pretty cool. Oh yeah, religious.
Because I remember when you said that they were religious, that doesn't mean that they had a happy home or even a good home, because it could have totally been the opposite. I mean, his father could be just totally distant, just coming to his mother for sex, but not being loving any other time, you know? So that's
why I was saying I would love to see that dynamic. Like, if I was an expert, I'd be like, this is a grown ass, whole ass man. Like, what's going on with you? Like, I'd have to bring in the parents and be like, let's have a conversation. Let's have a little meeting and see what's going on.
He's not in touch with her emotions at all.
Is he?
I think he's in touch with his own. Exactly.
That's what I say. Is he in touch with his?
I don't. Yeah, he's just
like a robot. I see him being able to get through this process, or like the interview process because he talks a good game. But when you start listening to him, he's not saying anything. And I feel like the first few weeks or something, we thought, oh, he's deep. But now we see, no, he's not at all. He's just talking. He had no depth to him at all.
Yeah, they dropped the ball on all levels, with the exception of, what's his name? Vinny. Champagne Vinny. They dropped the ball on all of these people.
I just don't see it. I was talking to someone today at work, and we are trying to figure out why this man has not had sex with this woman, and
can you imagine if they have sex and she's like, I waited for this.
Exactly. Right.
I waited for all this, because if you're going to, hold off or whatever, you better either be.
Listen, this is why I've been saying that Jacob's sex game is trash, because remember, they had sex when they were on the honeymoon.
I don't believe.
And she said that she had sex because she was married. Obligation. Don't get it twisted. If he had broken her ass in two and flipped her around and handled that shit in the sheets,
I don't agree.
She wouldn't be repulsed by him. She may not be attracted to him, like looking in his face, what have you.
Part though, Tanya. If you're not attracted,
that's what I'm saying. Sex does play a big part,
and just because being attracted plays a big part in whether or not you enjoy that sex. I mean, you think about like some good-looking men, or like that women have. They can be trash ass in bed, but because they're good-looking and they have some attractiveness to you, you'll go back. An ugly guy does not have that same mood.
Yeah, but I think I'm in the middle between the two of you.
Okay.
I think if he had to put her down, I mean, like really did it, she would not be so close to be like.
She would damn near almost regurgitate when he tries to give her something as basic as a hug.
Because she slept with him in the first place. Otherwise, she wouldn't have done it at all.
No, but she was drunk.
Yeah, but she still did it though. You can be drunk and not
did it.
Yeah, but she can be drunk and not attracted to someone, even if you feel the obligation.
Right, but how many times have people, especially men, drunk and had sex with a woman and then woke up and be like, that's not who I want.
Patrice O'Neal has I told you the whole joke of a woman can be love and this, that, and the other. And would you sleep with Brad Pitt, Denzel? No, I love my man. And the guy goes, do you love your wife? Yes, I do. You love your family? Yes, I do. You see that girl behind the dumpster, with the garbage on her? He's like, oh, she looks so cute with the garbage. Men would do that, but women would not. So the fact that I think there is something to Tanya. What she's saying is, if he was like, oh, I didn't expect him to be, if he took her and maybe he was too gentle, I don't know what. But if he's like
you said earlier, Chris, if you would have said, come here, get this. Do this.
Ugly man can't say that to me.
He's not ugly.
I'm not.
He's not ugly.
Who says? She said he's ugly.
She didn't say he was ugly.
She's not attractive.
I don't recall her saying
she's not attractive. She's not ugly.
When she walked in on their wedding and she saw him, she was not happy.
No, but she still slept with him though. There's people who did not sleep with them even on the obligation. Yeah, but there's people on obligation that will not sleep with another man.
And you just met him. Like, I don't care if you married him, but you just met him.
She was drunk. She wanted to have a good time.
But if he had put it down, he'd have put it down just a little bit, I think she'd be a little bit more struggling against his neon. It'd be a little more internal struggle. But she's like, as she said, trash. She's like, nope, nothing about it.
I don't even think the bitch wants a handshake.
I'm saying it's a possibility. I just don't think it. I just don't feel that was the huge thing. I feel like when you're not attracted to somebody, and like it is, like all the other stuff that she names off that does not attract her, the sex is not going to make her want to stay.
If the sex is good, it would.
No, it won't.
If he put it down and she had an orgasm,
if you are never had before to somebody. You don't like the way they speak. You don't like the way they dress.
Slept with him though, and there's a chemical thing that goes on with that where there's a bonding. She doesn't have any connection to him whatsoever. If they had slept together maybe once, just like with Paige and Chris.
But like you said, but a guy will sleep with a woman in the back of a dumpster. A woman not so much.
But Chris slept with her not once but twice.
That's what I'm saying. He will do it regardless.
Yeah, but the bond that Paige has to Chris. Why is he doing this? Why? Because he was putting it down on her.
He was. Oh yes, he was.
Enough to make, because you're like, damn, Paige, why are you doing this? You got a child? Yeah. But he's my husband, and I like how he likes me too. I think so. In the converse with Steak and Eggs and Haley, if he had, in bed, and I think that was a test for her too. She's like, well, maybe. I'm not attracted. Let me see if the sex is good.
That's true.
And the second, she's like, nope, not even the sex. I can't live with this. Yeah.
So maybe it wasn't trash, but I still feel like everything else plays a factor in it. But
it does. But I think the sex, if it was good sex, there would be a little more willingness.
More effort.
Oh, yes.
Exactly. Listen, I'll speak for myself.
Let's see if we can.
Yep.
If we can,
if that was
try it again, and it's going to get better, and it's going to get even better.
Yep.
If it's that the first time, second time it's going to be better because he's going to kind of know. And the third, but
listen, that would be me. Nope. Because if I did that, if I fucked him out of obligation on our honeymoon because we're married, and he tore it down, but I wasn't really attracted to him per se, I'll stick with it and try to get to know him
just to see. Even though I may not like your personality, but you gotta know that I do.
But our personalities may click eventually, because if that first sex game was on fire, once we get to know each other and we like each other, that second time is gonna be lit. And then if we really feeling each other, like we get to Champagne Vinny Brianna stage, please, it is like Pornhub.com, and I ain't going nowhere. I'm locking it down.
It may click if I like the dick.
Thank you. Hashtag.
If they click if I like the dick.
Okay. All right. I can't. I'm in the middle with you guys. I'm not on either end, but I'm in the middle. Right. I just don't find him attractive, and I just don't see her being able to get past it.
No, not at all.
No. Yeah, I don't find him attractive.
With Chin and Elf, I can finally see with her, she's kind of done. She's kind of like,
I think she's.
I don't know what else I can do.
Words that
and
say,
I'm like trying, but
I don't think she is.
I don't think she is done. I think she's just sad, and she's also living in that past relationship. Like the reality is, like she's living like, oh my God, is this going to happen again? Like back to back, where she was with the last boyfriend who didn't. I don't know what she said the last week, where he wasn't physically attracted to her, never wanted to touch her, never wanted to fuck her, none of that shit.
Yeah.
And he was like, kind of like,
just like such horror shows behind them.
Yeah. And so now she's with him, and now it's like history repeating itself. I think she wants to make it work. And I think she's done with trying to have a conversation with him. I think now she's like, you know what, bro, you're a man. You know, you come to me. I'm just gonna sit here.
What are you saying?
Fix your headphones. We can't hear you. You're muted.
He's
Unmute
doing that
yourself.
on purpose. Doing that on purpose.
I think she's like, she said in the thing, I need physicality in my relationship. I'm making that very clear. I need physicality, and he's not giving her that. And you can see it in her eyes. And I think that why she's crying or she's getting more upset, is because she's like, I don't know, I'm so frustrated right now. I don't know what else to do. And he's not stepping up. He's not stepping up.
It's also confusing too, because out of all of the couples, well, I shouldn't say that because that's not really true, because anyway, he's really touchy-feely with her. And usually if someone isn't ready to like be really physically intimate, you're not really kind of touchy-feely. He's like, when they sit next to each other, he's either holding her hand or he's got his arm around her or his hand on her leg and stroking her shoulder and everything. He's really, really touchy-feely with her. So, and I want to know now, like when they said they have been doing other things, like what's some other things? Cuddling and making out? Or are you like giving him a hand job, BJ? I mean, what's going on
Well, she said everything but.
Yeah, but I don't know.
Sex.
Yeah, but I don't know if
we talked about that last week. Well, we didn't think it could possibly be oral sex.
I was gonna say, I wouldn't think it would be oral.
What's your face? I think she's staying in it, but she's dropping, dropping and holding, because he's just not doing it. He's not passionate.
Yeah,
he's not, and she's like, she needs someone to be. He's not really into her, even though it seems like he is. He's like, well,
it's just words.
I don't think she feels attractive to him. And that's what it is. I don't think she feels attracted to him, even though he's,
I think she is physically attracted to him. Maybe not emotionally, but
I don't think he's attracted to her. I don't think she feels
that the whole time that I didn't think he was attracted to her. There's no way if he had any sexual attraction that he would lay in bed and do everything but and not
no heterosexual man.
A month they've been married. A
month. Oh, month.
And she probably has never gone in a relationship or even going on a date, not having sex for a month.
Carefree. Like she's so carefree. She had no bones with saying, I'd meet a guy on like one day and we hang out. I'll fuck him.
That's what she said.
Yeah, in the beginning.
She also said she's in a relationship and
she tells people she loves them. Sex. Well, that was her last relationship, but other relationships she's been in, she's been in love, told them that she loves them, and was intimate with them, like immediate.
He doesn't have any passion, and that's why he's never said "I love you." He has no passion. He has no energy. He has no. Even if he was a machismo, elite, or some. He's
physically fit. He's got a great. He's not that tall. I mean, I don't know what they look like. I mean, TV
he's a
makes
robot.
People look whatever.
He's like a robot.
But to me, he looks really short. Like but he's got a great. I mean, he's physically fit.
Yeah, she hasn't seen it.
Well, she ain't seen him. She hasn't seen him without a shirt on.
That's what I'm saying.
So I wonder too, like when they're in. She said everything but. So I'm wondering if he has a problem with the penis. But she said everything but, so she's had to have felt it.
Yeah, I think she probably gave him a blowjob.
Oh yeah.
I don't know if he went down on her.
I don't know if he reciprocated.
I don't think he reciprocated.
I don't think
so. I think they've done everything, and
she's done everything.
Third base. They've done third base, but I don't think he went down on her.
No.
Maybe he did, but I would think that he would.
I don't even think.
And if he had gone down on her and was giving her orgasms, I think she could have a little more patience.
I think so. That's what I'm saying. I don't think she would be flipping out as much if she had actually had some orgasm sometime.
Right. She has not had
herself.
Yeah.
Poor thing.
Poor thing.
Oh,
so I give them percentage wise. I give
All
them,
right, so all right, what percentage are we going to give them to get to the couch? They're going to
I'm
get it to
saying
the
60.
They'll make it to the couch. I'll
I
give them like
think
65,
60.
70.
Yeah.
60. Yeah.
Yeah.
But unless
For the
as far
marriage,
as it for the marriage, I don't know. I'm on the fence with that because I think the only thing at this point that's holding them up is two things. He hasn't fucked her. I think sex is number one. He needs to fuck her, and then she'll be okay with him telling her he loves her like maybe a month later. But he's got to bang her. He's got to bang her first.
Okay, let's do another percentage. Let's do another percentage for them. What percentage did you give them actually having sex before the sit down?
ooh, that's a good one. That's a good one.
Ooh, I'm gonna. Ooh,
I think if he's waited this long,
I'm gonna give him 30% of having sex prior to hitting the couch.
I'd say 15.
And the only reason why I say 30 is because I think he may want to make this work so bad that he'll start seeing the reality. Like once it gets to like maybe 2 weeks out, he might see the writing on the wall that this bitch is about to walk. And
I don't think
comes from this religious thing.
I think he's so blinded to the fact to what she needs, even talking about sex, he can't engage or
it's like a child.
So sex
Worse
is like
than.
off the charts in terms of he's not even paying attention to when she was crying watching she often gets upset and cry, and they show her getting upset and tearing, and he's like, "Well, this salad's good," and she's like,
"Yeah, but yesterday, see, that's what I noticed different about him yesterday."
If I could only have some dick.
I mean, seriously, that's got to be like wicked frustrating.
Yes, if I only had some dick. So
I'm gonna do this in a headliner anyway.
I mean, that's got to be frustrating because I'd be gone.
So I'm gonna give them. You said 30.
I give them
having sex.
Right.
Having sex.
Before the couch.
15.
I'm gonna give him 20.
He's not doing it. If he hasn't done it now, if he hasn't done it by now, even with all her, it's not like she's been hinting. Everyone knows in the world that she needs his dick. He knows that she needs his dick, right? That doesn't faze him at all.
No.
Nothing is. He's like, no, not until the relationship's on a level. I think the relationship is, for the long haul, is, I think then, nothing. If he hasn't done it by now, nope. And I think she's gonna be so resentful. She should be so she's so resentful. She's like, oh, this is finally. It's at that point when she's like, oh, okay. Now are you doing it out of pity for me now? Because you obviously, I think she's crossed over that. Like, I don't even know if I want to have sex with him anymore. I think you
seem like I don't get that much anger from her. I do see that she's frustrated, but I'm gonna go with Tanya with the 20 because maybe it's hope more than anything, because I really think that towards the end he's going to say, well, at least I should do it before we get to that last point.
I think he's on his own time schedule. I don't think he cares about anything else, about the couch, or about whatever it's going to take. It's going to take him that long because he, in his mind, he has. Well, we've been married for 3 months now, and it's not about the couch. I don't think it's all in his. It's all on him. It's all on him. Even the doctors were like, how's the intimacy between you? Oh, well, intimacy is good between us. And she's like.
I know, right? When they said it, she's looking like, I'm sorry, what?
And she's nice about it, being like, she's trying to bring him along and try. But I think she's starting to drop that. I think the next time you see them with Dr. Cal, Dr. Pepper, whoever, talking about sex, she's going to be like a little bit more. There's going to be more anger in it than there's going to be frustration because.
Yeah, I agree.
I'm frustrated for her. I've been frustrated for her for weeks now. I can't even imagine the frustration she's going through. Yeah. So now I think it's turning a little bit into there's going to be a little more frustration to hurt. Now I think it's going to be a little more angry of like, why haven't you fucked me? Like, why? What's wrong with me that you haven't? Now she's looking at herself of going, well, he doesn't want to.
And anybody would. I mean, here we are. If there's an attraction there, why haven't you tried? I mean, we're sleeping in the same bed.
Yeah.
I mean, they're not like Steak and Eggs and Haley. They're actually sleeping in the same bed, cuddling, breathing on each other. You can't tell me I don't give a damn.
And you know she's tried. Get it close.
Oh,
you know when they was spooning, she reached her hand over and was like,
"Come on, baby."
Oh, yeah.
She's like, "Just put it in. Just put it in." He's like, "No, I'm not going to. Just put it in."
I'm not ready.
Just put it in. Just put it in.
I just sucked your whole dick and you don't even want to put just a tip. Nothing. He's like, I'm not ready.
You all are nightmares. All right, well, that's it for this episode of Dope, talking it up with Chris.
That was fun, ladies.
There's no more to say. We will see you next week. Check us out on our Instagram, Facebook.
Just look at the scroll on the bottom and holler at us later. See y'all next week. Peace out.
Later.